All right, good afternoon. You turn this on. Good afternoon. Is it on? Can you guys hear me? Good afternoon. Is this on? You can hear me? Okay. All right, welcome everybody to the 4th annual California Clean Energy Hall of Fame. It is good to be here. Let's give it up for our winners. Thank you guys. Today is really about you and about uplifting you and the amazing work that you do every day, the hope you're bringing to our state and our world. We started this award ceremony 4 years ago, really to recognize people who are on the front lines. And you think about how change happens, and I like to think about like hard power and soft power. And we have the hard power regulation and of grant money and so forth. And then there's the soft power of socializing a vision and being on the front lines and leading through example. So much of what happens at the state level and the national level is really first started at the local level. And that's what you guys represent and what this ceremony is really about. So we're so grateful to have you here. I came back from Dubai from the climate summit early yesterday to be here for this. So if I fall over, somebody prop me up. But before we get started, I wanted to recognize one woman who's not on the agenda, who doesn't ever seek the limelight, but without whom this event would not have happened. And that is Commissioner Noemi Gallardo. Can you stand up? Thank you, Noemi. Noemi is a spectacular leader and the first Latina commissioner we've had at the Energy Commission and an inspiration herself. So thank you. So actually, I'd like to begin if we could ask everyone to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, and we'll just do that together. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please take a seat. And I think especially in a period where we went through so long being separate during COVID, it's just wonderful to be back together. So let's just take a minute, if you could, and just greet the people around you and introduce yourself. Everybody just take a minute to say hello to those sitting around you. All right. All right. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Once the party is started, it's hard to stop. I also wanted to say a special word of thanks to our 4 honorary co-hosts, Senator Nancy Skinner, Assemblyman Eduardo Garcia, California Natural Resources Secretary Wade Crowfoot, and California Secretary for Environmental Protection, Yana Garcia. Thank you all for your work. And we have an amazing selection committee. These winners, by the way, the selection committee does not make mistakes, okay? So you are here because you deserve it. And we want to thank our terrific selection committee, which is Eddie Price, Eddie Ahn, Kelly Tung, Joe Savior, Sarah Rubin, Boom Tesfaye, Abigail Solis, and Moises Moreno Rivera. Let's give them a round of applause as well. So before we move into the awards, we have a very special guest who's going to lead a prayer and ceremonial dance. Will you please join me in welcoming Tribal Elder Razzle Dazzle and the Sacramento Youth Group from the Miwok Style Dance in California.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. We're a dance family that comes out of Sacramento. We're mission on New people, and we've been working in the community for about 23 years, traveling and sharing our culture with the people here. And we got invited here today to come out and share a little part of our dance with you guys. This is my Uncle Raz. This is our captain, one of our captains, head captain. So we're just here today to share a little bit of us. Our people come from this area thousands of years, and we continue to make sure that our kids learn these ways and still continue to do these things today to make sure that they have a real part of their identity still to share with people and to just be blessed that we have these things still. So again, we're going to share a little bit with you guys, and these songs are just prayer dances, and a lot of time we're just praying for the people, and want to make sure that things are taken care of spiritually. When we come to these lands or any lands we go to, we always make sure we offer tobacco, we offer things to make sure that we're introducing ourselves to the spirits of that land. And so, just want to make sure that we keep that relationship going as we move forward and with our children and with our families. So again, we're just here to share a little bit with you guys, and we appreciate it. Thank you.
And also too, we asked no pictures for the first dance coming in. And I see a lot of our relatives there. We welcome to our area. Are you from Hoopa? Oh, thank you. Beautiful grandma. Thank you very much for being here. We really appreciate you. We ask God Father to bless you, continue your health. For everybody here, we are stewards of the land. We take care of this environment, the water, the trees, all these things, are part of us, in that way. And so we were chosen to be stewards of the land and caretakers of the land. And we thank you all for your part that you play in that, because it's all a we do. So we're gonna go ahead and sing one song, then we'll tell you you can take all the pictures you want. Okay? And we don't clap. We say ho! Ho! Ah, louder! Ho! And you like us. Okay? Now we can be able to, we don't call it performance, we always this spiritual to us. We just call it, this is the prayer. This is our part of that morning sun. When it rises, we prepare ourselves from the beginning to the end. All preparation, and this don't start right here. Starting when we woke up. I hope. Oh. Okay, you can go in and take pictures now. Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and send these boys home and girls. And, we want to thank you all for inviting us here. We didn't know how much time we had, but generally, our songs go in sets. If we sing 4 songs, then we cut it. But if we continue to go on, then you're gonna be sitting there till how the sun gets down. So therefore, we want to just kind of thank you for allowing us to come here and to share. And so we're gonna go ahead and take the boys and go home now. Two little ones. Beautiful dancers.
Hey.
And our big boys. Get the baby girls. Thank you very much for all your support.
Hey.
Hey, how about for the elder leader? Oh. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And it just came to me. And it just came to me is that, we're calling in the spirits of this past. We're calling in our ancient ones. But these relatives, when they dance, they come from spirit. So we must acknowledge that. So with that said, I want everybody to please stand and think about the things going on in Mother Earth. And I want you we want to be thankful for the dances, for the ancient ones, for the old ones, for the spirits of this land. Why it is, how it is that we've been together. We want to take that moment to acknowledge those spirits and give thanks to them. Because these things are, all these songs are spiritual and they're prayers. And all them youth that come in, those young ones, those are old ones, those are the ancient ones, those are the ones from the beginning of time. And we must continue to remember. We can continue to give that thanks. So I want one big hole.
Thank you so much. Oh. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Razzle Dazzle and the Sacramento Youth Group from Miwok Style Dancing, California. That was beautiful. And if you think about it, a lot of what we need to do today is just return to that Native American wisdom, taking care of the land, finding balance with the earth, and always asking what the impact of every decision we make is on the seventh generation. That's a lot of what we have to endeavor to do here in the state, in our country, in our world. So thank you. So with that, before we move to our awards, I did want to also acknowledge that every award winner here will be getting a tree planted in their name by the Sacramento Tree Foundation. And that's going to serve as a living memorial to your work. The Sacramento Tree Foundation is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to grow thriving communities through the stewardship of urban forests. And in addition, every winner is going to receive a plaque made with wood logs that were diverted from landfills to the Sacramento Tree Foundation's Urban Wood Rescue Program. By using this wood, the Tree Foundation will reduce waste and sequester carbon, and the program has captured over 6,700 metric tons of carbon. So we salute the Sacramento Tree Foundation for helping build this clean energy future. And as the trees grow, the triumph of our winners will grow as well. So now we'll present the 6 award winners one by one. The first up is a Youth Game Changer Award, which is going to recognize an amazing individual who's 18 years of age or younger, who is helping to advance California towards a clean energy future by combating climate change through innovative methods, inspiring the next generation. And to present that award is a rising star in her own right. That is our terrific California Secretary of the EPA here in our state of California. Please welcome Yana Garcia.
Hello and good afternoon. Thank you to our singers and dancers. That was beautiful. I am excited to join you all for this celebration. I had the great pleasure of being here to present an award last year and left so inspired that I had to come back. Very quickly, just want to note that, as Secretary for Environmental Protection, I can appreciate the real need that we have to collaborate and partner and stand hand in hand with all levels of government, and in particular with communities, to ensure that our decarbonization plans are actually yielding meaningful results for those on the ground. And I think we all can agree that at the local level is where the most benefit can be felt. And so I'm really, really excited and feel so honored to be able to be here and be a part of the awards that truly go to those who are making that change, making that difference here on the ground. I'm also grateful to see the diversity of our winners. I am the first Latina to lead Cali, PA. And so I also very much appreciate the need for representation in building the solutions that we need. I am very, very excited to introduce a little bit more about our youth game changer, who is a Latina who has been fighting climate change as a student activist in the halls of her Lodi High School, from there to her current alma mater of Stanford University. As so many of us are seeing, and so many of us are a part of this, we are seeing that young people are the driving force behind building the climate solutions before us. I couldn't be prouder of this person. And now let's learn a little bit more about her from this video.
I'm from Lodi and Stockton, California, these 2 towns in the Central Valley of California. Yeah, home is definitely like where my family is. I go to university now, which is about 2 hours from my hometown. I think a lot about my parents and just the way that they've raised me to keep working harder and really emphasize like your work ethic. You're gonna face some no's. Those are necessary along the way, but what really matters is how you react to that and keep going. When I started having conversations with my high school, it was a little tough to get anything going just because when it came down to conversations with the board, it was really hard to find anyone who was interested. So up to this point, we still haven't convinced Lodi Unified to switch to clean renewable energy. I'm still in close contact with the high schoolers working at that level, and we're still having weekly discussions of just continuing that effort to really make sure that more people are aware of it and know how to get involved. So I just wanted to learn more about climate change overall. It was a few days just on Zoom, and I just found it extremely interesting. I ended up getting connected with a network of other people who were really interested in climate change, and that's ultimately how I found the Green Schools campaign. It was really centered on youth leadership and just really seeing how much we could build the student power in other school districts. And it is happening slowly but surely. It happened with the Long Beach Green Schools campaign, which just last year convinced their school district to transition. Because I also find that, especially in high school and in grades earlier than that, a lot of students aren't really aware that there are these avenues and they have like this power to get involved. I think that it can just be really powerful to know that there is something you can do.
I think I very first met Ava probably during a demonstration that we were putting on. I organized with a group called the Coalition for True School Sustainability here on campus. We put on a demonstration to protest the use of fossil fuel money in research in the new school sustainability here at Stanford. And I know Ava was involved with sort of divestment campaigns on campus from fossil fuel money. Seeing Ava there and then like seeing photos later on too. And then realizing that we were overlapping in quite a lot of different ways in different organizing circles, as well as, you know, myself as an instructor. These undergrads and these young people are just so inspiring and willing to say what needs to be said to these huge behemoth kind of institutions that have so much power in the world and have had so much power in the world. Folks in Ava's generation not only, again, have this responsibility as everyone else does, but are uniquely poised as young people to really shape the institutions that we live in. We have to do something. There is no other choice. Younger folks that are coming up now into the world as quote-unquote adults, for better or for worse, are thrown into the world that folks before them have created. And so we all have this collective responsibility to do something about that if we genuinely and seriously care about everyone that's in the world. I just want to like give her a big hug, you know, because it just makes me so happy to see someone doing amazing work like this. And being such a good person through it all. Ava was always asking amazing questions, bringing the topic of conversation to a very personal place, and willing to show vulnerability as well. It's hard enough to be able to kind of stand up for what is right, but then even harder in some ways to step back. So I think that sense of humility and yet also owning the power that she has is wonderful and beautiful about the way that Ava leads.
I started learning more about the Central Valley specifically and how a lot of people there have been influenced by climate injustices and just climate change in general. Children born in the Central Valley are much, much more likely to be born with asthma, especially children of color. I've grown up with asthma, and I never thought of how that could be influenced just by where I was born and where I've grown up. Life and death and love and birth and peace and war on the planet Earth. Is there anything that's... Yeah, music has been just a huge part of my life. I think ever since I was little, before I can remember, I just grew up around my parents, you know, playing the radio. And I would also say that like music has been a huge part of like my family, especially in, you know, celebrations before I can even really remember. We would just be blasting sometimes like mariachi music. Yeah, getting to even take that onto a campus like Stanford and get involved in Mariachi Cardenal was so fun. Yeah, I love music, and I'm so happy to get to play it and rejoice in it with other people.
Many people, Ava, please come up and accept your award. What an honor. Thank you.
Hello, thank you all so much. I am so honored to be here with all of you. And I am going to try not to cry more, but I have to give an enormous thank you, of course, to my parents, my mom, my dad, my stepdad, and just my entire family, because they just inspire me every day and keep me moving forward, and have just taught me from a very young age, especially like growing up with my sister, just to look out for each other. And I think that's a lot of what really inspires me in climate work, to just keep on advocating for the people that are most affected by these issues and continue to think and grow about how environmental issues are actually encompassing much larger issues overall, issues of justice in every way possible, pretty much, and how environmental issues specifically affect different communities. So I just want to leave everyone with especially just seeing all the inspiring influence that everyone here has and all the efforts that are being taken just to create a better environment for better and more healthy communities where we're really looking out for each other, to just continue to think about the ways that we can grow and expand these conversations with different communities and maintain these conversations with different communities to make sure that we're really listening to everyone who's being affected by these challenges and just moving forward every single day, even when the going gets tough and even when we're facing skepticism, because there's always more that we can do and more people that we can help. So thank you so much. I'm going to play super briefly just a little bit of the song that I played in the video. And it's from one of my, thank you. It's from one of my favorite shows called Steven Universe. And yeah, I love to play it, but. Life and death and love and birth and peace and war on the planet Earth. Is there anything that's worth more than peace and love on the planet Earth? Whoa, come on and sing it with me. The words relate to the key. If it's a pattern, just repeat after me. Life and death and love and birth. Life and death and love and birth. Whoa, is there anything that's worth more than peace and love on the planet Earth? Is there anything that's worth more? Is there anything that's worth more? Is there anything that's worth more than peace and love on the planet Earth?
That is a tough act to follow. Wow. Hey, can we also give it up? I know that Ava's father and mother and stepfather here. Could you all stand up so we can recognize you? You have raised an amazing kid. Wow. Clean energy leader, playing the ukulele. I played the radio. I mean, but so congratulations, Ava, to you and your family. Next, we're going to move into the Clean Energy Champion Awards. We have 3 of those to give. And I want to invite to the stage someone who is an extraordinary bright light here in California. I consider her a mentor, an inspiration, and really one of the single most effective state legislators in the United States. Half the authorities we have here at the Energy Commission, the $10 billion we're pushing out for clean energy solutions, is due to her. Please welcome State Senator Nancy Skinner.
Ava, I'm gonna have to have you come and teach my grandbaby. She's 2.5. She has a ukulele already. She sits there and strums it, but anyway, so glad to be here. Thank you, CEC, for inviting me to be able to do the next honor. And I want to thank the commission for first initiating these events and bringing it back in person. And congratulations to all the awardees. Like so many of the awardees, our next one has emphasized the importance of including everyone in our clean energy future, because each and every one of us are stakeholders and have a role to play in achieving that goal. And that is going to be the key to helping us reach our energy and climate goals in the next decades. We especially need local leaders, not just people like me in the legislature or the agencies like those who work with the commission or our commissioners. We need local leaders to help us engage each and every one of us in this goal. So I'm very proud to introduce our next awardee, Reverend Frank Jackson, who with his Village Solutions Foundation has been connecting Southern California communities with clean energy opportunities through his ministry. So let's learn more about him now.
That's one of the things that we've been pushing with this energy concept is if you're going to get information into the Black and brown community, especially the Black community, you've got to get it in through the church. Oh, Father God, in the name of Jesus, we come to you this morning, Father God, just thanking you for this opportunity. Today was our Loving Lives Ministry day. We do it on a quarterly basis. Our Edison relationship really germinated from the Loving Lives Ministry program. It was in 2011. We thank you for everything, Father God. That way we're sure to leave out nothing. In your Son Jesus' name we say, thank God and amen, amen. Come on. We were working with Edison at that time to put together a program to target Black faith-based organizations to be able to utilize their programs, get them in position to receive funding. This year today, it was for school supplies. That's why you saw a lot of kids out. But it also gives us that opportunity to connect with the community, because like most Black churches that are not just in California, but in the country, most of our Black ministries now are sitting in emerging Latino communities. The connection that we've had with this community, with the Latino community, really did start from our founding pastor, because he believed that the church was a community asset. And we engaged with Southern California Edison's Energy Savings Assistance Program. And what that program does, it gave us the opportunity to actually go into the homes of the Edison customers that were, say, on the CARE program or that were income qualified.
You can't train people to do work that you don't know how to do. And so going into the home, you had to have a real passion for what you were doing, because you were going into homes where we were sometimes the only person that people would see in a long time. And I mean, women put on makeup when Frank came into their house, when they knew he was coming. One man, he called us almost every week till he got me, because he kept saying, I don't want to leave a message. I want to tell you myself what a blessing that this was. And so it's ministry work, but to let them know that they were going to benefit from this communication.
Because see, our community is always thinking in their mindset this energy conservation and solar and being energy efficient they're taking it like this is a rich white person's environment, and it's not, because this impacts everybody. Here's how this energy thing is impacting at the grassroots level. Now, how do you better manage and be a better steward over those utilities, I think is vital and important to our communities.
African American churches have always been clearinghouses for the community. When people come to the church, they expect more than just preaching on Sunday.
Right, that this is a place that we come to for spiritual guidance. That means that I have to have trust in the message and the messenger. And so now that messenger can talk to me about not only spiritual guidance, but other, opportunities and solutions that can overall help the quality and my experience of this journey that we call life.
Here are some opportunities for you that's going to take some of the strain off of that household budget. Once we go from there, my next step is the energy education piece, because again, that's an important piece of our program, is now educating that customer on how to be a better steward over that energy. Better you use it, the less you're going to spend, and the more benefit it's going to be for the planet Earth. Now you really can participate in this thing that's called climate change. You really can participate in this thing that's called energy efficiency, because you don't need to have a solar roof.
With Frank, it's been amazing working this year with him and more with Village Solutions Foundation. And that's really born from Frank's passion around energy and sustainability and ensuring that the communities that we come from don't get left behind.
So that's one of the things that we want to be able in this program to do, is to expose, those folks that normally would not have the opportunity to take advantage of something like this. This ministry really did give me the opportunity to exercise, that gift. The scripture said your gift will make room for you. And, New Mount Pleasant has given me the room to exercise my gift.
Congratulations, Reverend Jackson. We appreciate your efforts to provide a brighter, cleaner future for our communities, especially those in Inglewood and throughout Southern California. So please come up and we can give you your award.
You've done something when you can cause a preacher to stumble through his words. That's a hard thing to do. First, I just want to thank the commission for this award. And I want to thank Southern California Edison for their support. And they really have been a good strategic community partner for our organization. And first, I also want to thank our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Because if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't even have this planet. And one of the things that I've always stressed is you can have artificial leather, you can have artificial wool, you can have artificial cotton. There's no such thing as artificial dirt. God's not putting no more earth down here. And we have a responsibility to be good stewards over this planet Earth, because it is our only, and it is our number one best resource. So part of our mission is to continue to get this information into our younger generations, because if we do that, and if we do it proactively and really do it with a good, clear conscience, what'll happen is when they become our age, when they become that age of being a consumer, then we won't have to give them flyers. We won't have to do drive-alongs to see if they'll have an interest in going in and buying an electric vehicle, because it will be part of their culture. And again, we all have that obligation and that responsibility to do that. When we were going through what the native prayer that they were doing, and looking at Ava, and what that really is our target, to be able to get this information into our younger generation. And then our responsibility and part of this is to be supportive and, again, to be proactive. Because if we do that, then I'm just truly believing, in our lunch today, they were talking about the word hope. I really do believe that if we continue the hope, if we continue just doing this drive and continue to collaborate with each other and continue to just take this as I almost take it as being pioneers, because this is brand new technology. And in brand new technology, there are also brand new opportunities for those that may have never had an opportunity to go from to be an entrepreneur, to be a energy leader, to be someone like a Ava, that can at 18 years old and still have that drive already to be able to come in and do something for not just her planet, but for our planet. Again, I want to thank the commission. I want to thank you for being here. And number one, I want to thank my girlfriend. Because I tell people often, if you want to get it done, go to the girlfriend. Amen. So again, I want to thank you for Brad. I want to thank you for that video. Amen. I'm just so thankful for this opportunity. This has been a great day for me. My birthday is Sunday, and I could have never came up with a better birthday present than receiving this award and then being able to meet new family members in the mission to make sure that there's a planet Earth for their generation, for your generation, for those generations to come. I want to thank you, bless you, and let's keep this thing going, y'all, because I truly do believe faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. We're going to see this, y'all. Come on, give God a hand clap of praise. Amen. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Reverend. Preach. That was great. By this point in this ceremony, you're probably wondering, where do all these amazing people come from? How do we find them? We have an incredible selection committee, and one woman who's been a core part of that since the beginning is Luam Tesfaye, who is with the Public Utilities Commission, one of our sister agencies here in California, working to bring clean energy mainstream. So she's going to introduce our next awardee. Please welcome Luam Tesfaye.
Good afternoon. Thanks, Chair Hochschild. So good afternoon. How is everyone doing? Good to see so many familiar faces here. Great. So I'm Luam Tesfaye, and I'm the Deputy Executive Director for Energy and Climate Policy at the California Public Utilities Commission. And like Chair Hochschild said, I've had the opportunity to serve for a number of years on the selection committee for these very important awards. These awards are really a key opportunity to recognize leaders advancing California's clean energy goals. And for me, they've really been an important time being at the end of the year to really reflect on all that we've accomplished over the year, and then really taking it as a point of inspiration as we look to the future and look at our how we're going to be accomplishing all of our clean energy goals together. So decarbonization is a key part of California's climate strategy and the work we are doing at the California Public Utilities Commission in collaboration with all of our sister agencies. Decarbonization of our electric grid, decarbonization of our transportation sector, and decarbonization of our buildings. This includes the development of a number of programs like our BUILD program and our TECH program, aimed at reducing greenhouse gas emissions associated with new and existing buildings. For example, the TECH program is accelerating the adoption of clean space and water heating technologies across California homes in order to help create an equitable pathway to carbon-free homes by 2045 and installing 6 million heat pumps by 2030. We're accomplishing all of this through incentives, pilots, technical assistance, and really the transformation of the market, which really brings me to the critical work of our next awardee. So I'm honored to present the next Clean Energy Champion Award to David Canetta, who is doing brilliant work developing electrical systems to help decarbonize buildings. Let's meet him now.
I want to be that innovative, cutting edge person that's figuring out what the next thing is in electrical engineering. There's nobody out there that's really doing that. So the trick is to do projects that are examples that will inspire people to do more impactful work. It's like, how do you do something that'll have the most impact on the industry overall? Pauline she's passionate about sustainability. And actually, I first got to really know her well doing volunteer work for the U.S. Green Building Council. We were also, at the time, designing, schools. She was doing a lot of public school work. So we both were interested in sustainability. We started getting a reputation for doing really cutting edge work. She was interested in that. In a lot of ways, this is their only public building to really show off their commitment to sustainability. This whole project was thought through and analyzed and designed for making this the most sustainable building that it could be.
You were trained to be an architect, you're trained in business, so you understand holistically how to bring information forward that is about vision and is about opportunity. I think that's kind of the secret sauce. I don't know how many times we've had, this glitch or that thing, and you've come out with a light meter and tested, and we've come out and done diagrams. That is about, I want to make sure this works well because I believe in it, but I also want you to believe in it.
We're in Cupertino, California at my home. The thing that makes it special to me is that I got to have a home designed for me that reflects the things that are both my values and what's important to me professionally. So I design buildings, electrical systems for buildings as a living. As I've done that, I've specialized in green buildings. It's important to me that we stay on that front edge and kind of point the direction that people should be going as they're designing electrical systems for buildings and greener buildings and trying to decarbonize the energy that we're using. When it was designed was state-of-the-art for what we were trying to do and what we were trying to show as an example to the world on what people should be doing to do greener buildings. Photovoltaic panels that make electricity, so they're optimized. I am originally from Pennsylvania, from outside of Philadelphia, but I've lived in Japan and Chicago and the United Kingdom. Growing up on the East Coast, the schools that I went to were all white schools. My family was the only Asian family in the school district. So when I went to Japan, I realized that there's this fantastic culture. And I really fell in love with this idea of doing things just because that's the right thing to do. It's good mental discipline to try to remember all these different forms and things like that, and that's part of what keeps me going and keeps me young. It's humbling to get recognition. California is, in my mind, the leading state in this movement of trying to decarbonize and energy efficiency, and to get recognized by the state of California is a big thing to me.
Congratulations, David. I'm inspired by your vision and commitment. Please continue decarbonizing, and I hope others here are inspired to do more in decarbonization because California needs your help. Before David comes up, we have a video message from Senator Cortez, who could not be here, but wanted to say congratulations.
Hi, my name is Senator Dave Cortese, and I'm honored to congratulate David Caneda on being a 2023 Clean Energy Champion Award winner as part of the California Energy Commission's Clean Energy Hall of Fame Awards. Reducing the carbon intensity of buildings will be a crucial step in achieving California's 100% clean energy future. Since playing a lead role in creating the first net zero energy construction in the United States in 2005, David has continued to innovate in this field, and he's contributing not only to how new construction can be energy efficient and green, but also how we're able to retrofit old buildings to fit into our modern needs. Thank you to David for your dedication to this issue, because without climate champions such as yourself, California would not be the climate leader we strive to be. Once again, congratulations on being recognized for this award. I look forward to seeing you continue your work long into the future.
Congratulations, David.
Wow. Wow, that was special. Thank you. I'm so honored and humbled to receive this award. I'm just an electrical engineer. And yeah, I've been doing buildings for like, I don't know, 40 years or something like that, and got into sustainable design like 20 years ago, and have been really, really lucky to be in the right place at the right time. So, you know, when green buildings started becoming a thing in like 2000, I happened to be working with a mechanical engineer who's just phenomenal at energy efficiency. And, you know, we started collaborating and started doing a lot of green buildings. And then I bought a building in like 2005, and, you know, we hired an architect that I normally work for. And he's like, oh, maybe we could, you know, make it really energy efficient. I was like, I want it green. He's like, we can make it really energy efficient and put photovoltaic panels on the roof and try to like match the energy use to the energy production. And we could like call it something like, I don't know, like net zero energy or something like that. And I was like, oh, okay, that sounds interesting. Let me think about that. And actually my wife talked me into it. I don't tell people that normally. So I was like, I kind of want just green. But, you know, we did zero energy, and then now like all electrics become a thing. So kind of, I was in the right place at the right time. The industry came to me because I'm doing electrical design anyway. And now everybody's talking about, you know, all electric buildings and decarbonization. And I'm really lucky. I got a project right now that I'm working on that the owner wants, it's like kind of in the middle of nowhere, and he wants it to be off grid. So we're looking at, you know, renewables and wind and photovoltaics and batteries. And I'm actually even looking at like hydrogen generation and fuel cells and things like that I've never even thought about before. So it's really fun. I get to work with some of the best architects and engineers and contractors and developers in the world. I get to work with people like Nancy Skinner and GSA at the federal government, the Green Building Advisory Council and things like that. So it's been a great ride for me and really fun. One of the things I noticed was like all these award winners who are just amazing. They're all doing stuff like teaching high school students, or they're college students, or they're teaching children and doing things for the future. And I'm thinking, what did I do that way? And I kind of haven't done anything that way, and I feel bad about it. But in actual fact, I realized the one thing that I do is I talk quite a bit about the work that I do at conferences. So in a way, I'm teaching, but I'm not teaching students. I'm teaching like other professionals kind of how to do the work that we do, because I really believe that, you know, a handful of green building experts isn't going to solve the problem. It's like everybody's got to know how to do this. So the people that I work with that are really good at this, we all go out there and present in conferences, so like the whole industry can understand what you need to do differently and how you do it. So I think that's where a lot of the future is going to be, is like as the industry kind of adopts this is business as usual, then we have a chance. So I'm really excited. Thank you so much. I'm hugely honored. And congratulations to the other.
Congratulations, David. Thanks for all your work. So our next awardee is a remarkable teacher and leader and an inspiration. And to introduce him, I'm going to ask Christine Hironaka to come up. We have a great partner in the governor, in Governor Newsom, and Christine is his energy leader. And so we work very closely with Christine. And one of the core visions of this administration is a vision we're calling Lithium Valley. As we build a future beyond fossil fuels, we want that to be powered with 100% clean energy. People use 100% electric vehicles with lithium produced here from the Salton Sea region, which is the most sustainable way to produce lithium in the world. So Christine is going to introduce this remarkable leader. Please welcome Christine Hironaka.
All right, thank you, Chair Hochschild. And I think I could say good evening, right? If I'm reading my watch correctly. Well, good evening. Again, as the chair said, my name is Christine Hironaka. I am the governor's senior advisor on energy. As my title implies, I get to advise the governor on energy issues and work with many of you in this room as we work very, very hard on our transition to clean, reliable, affordable, safe, and equitable energy for all Californians. And that's a tall order, but it's worth it, and it's critical in our fight against climate change. And I think, as I've heard many of the other speakers allude to, is what is paramount in that fight is our efforts to decarbonize our economy and electrify our lives. And no other state in the nation, I'm proud to say, has done as much as we have. And it's not just us, the state alone. It is everyone together, as many of these awardees are recognized. So that, just to cut to business, that brings me to our next awardee. I am truly humbled and excited to present our next Clean Energy Champion Award to Keith Fisher. Keith has been, I think to the prior awardee speaking, has been really teaching youth about electric vehicles. Electric vehicles are our future, but also an opportunity for who are going to be building, who's going to be leading our workforce in the future. And so I couldn't be more excited to introduce this next awardee because I think we don't want to lose sight of jobs and sustainable jobs as a part of our transition and our fight against climate change. So let's learn a little bit more about Keith Fisher in this video.
I think I told the commissioner 2 or 3 times, why me? But they were very happy with what I've been doing down here, trying to promote the future of zero emission vehicles in our state and helping our students become better prepared for that future. So I guess I checked all the boxes, and so that's why we're here. My name's Keith Fisher. I'm the auto shop teacher here at Calexico High School. I've been teaching now for about 22 or 23 years and been in this program here for 6 years. And what I do is teach 3 levels, the introduction course, and an intermediate course, and an advanced course. The goal is in the 3rd year, students can hopefully leave if they test out and pass with an ASE certification. Those are one of the highest certifications you could receive as a technician, and that'll be able to get them to walk from high school here straight into a position at any job.
And we're preparing our students who probably wouldn't have this type of opportunity if it wouldn't be for what we're offering them here at Calexico High School. That's an ICE engine, right? Yes. Yeah.
It's more than a class, it's more than a course. When they finish and they receive a certificate, they look at each other and they truly, in their heart, in their mind, and their whole being believe, I am ready to go get this job and nothing is going to stop me.
The people in Calexico, it's a very close-knit, small community. The kids here are great. They want to do better for their community. And a lot of them want to stay here. Even if they have to leave, they want to come back. So having them have some type of certificates that can get them work straight out of high school at that level would be magnificent. They were actually hiring for this position 6 months after I was hired, and they found out that I worked on cars and had my own restoration business in Hawaii. The principal turned to me and said, do you want to do this? And I was kind of put back for a moment and said, give me a week to think about it. And so I decided to accept the position and moved over. And ever since then, where we're seeing right now and what was behind me in the camera frame was chicken coops. So I spent 6 weeks going through, cleaning out the room, itemizing every tool that we had. I've been growing it ever since.
When he opened this program, we didn't have anything that you see here. And I think 6 years later, we have been able to put together something very special for our students due to his leadership, his commitment, and the hard work that he's put in during his own time.
Well, when I first started this program, it was a traditional auto shop in the sense we brought in an old car, we took apart the old engine, put it back together, let's run it, let's play around with the electrical to make sure that everything's working. But a few years back, about a year before the pandemic shutdown, the California Energy Commission through Cerritos College over in San Diego reached out to our school and my program and asked, would you be willing to accept an electric vehicle, a kit car? And I was like, at that time, sure, I'll take anything for free, because I was still building my program. So delving into electric vehicles, I spent a lot of time on my own studying and learning what all these components do, how they work, what's their purpose on that vehicle. That's what I try to train my kids in the first year of school is know every part of the car that's important, the major parts, and be able to know exactly where they are. But we've now went from doing ICE engines or internal combustion engines to working on EVs in that manner. It's all going back to the students. For me, it's all about, are they getting from this? Are they getting better for their futures? And I've always taught for the sake of students, not for myself. But I love teaching. I love those aha moments. And I love inspiring our students. For me, that's always been the only reward I've ever needed. Well, I'm originally born in Florida. I was raised there for some time, and then I ended up moving to Hawaii, and Hawaii is home for me. Well, there's a very famous Hawaiian expression, but in essence in English is, if you take care of the land's going to take care of you. And if all of us as humans can just fall in and say, okay, we want to take care of these things and take care of the earth. The future for my kids and everybody who's watching's kids would be so much better if we just start learning to value those simple things again.
Teachers clearly have a very special place in this world, and frankly, one of the most important jobs. They can change the course of students' lives, and I have a feeling that Keith is very much the type of teacher who is transforming many of his students' lives. And I'm very excited to introduce some of those students who I would like to acknowledge are and will continue to lead our clean energy future. We will now hear from some. Come on up.
All right. Before we begin, I will do an exercise with you guys. Okay, pay attention here. When I say okay, you say all right. Okay. 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 That exercise was taught to me by my district. Okay, my name is Herman Reyes.
My name is Mariana Bowie.
And we'll present you a little speech we prepared. Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are deeply honored and grateful, to be here today with Mr. Fisher, who is receiving this award. But this prestigious award. This recognition as a testament to the dedication, passion, and unwavering commitment that Mr. Fisher has had during his career and his working time with our program. Seeing Mr. Fisher receive an award of this caliber from such a distinguished individuals is not just an acknowledgement of our achievements, of his achievements, but also an affirmation of the values that drives him. It's a reminder that excellence is not a destination, but a continuous journey. We would like to deeply thank the organizers and esteemed individuals that are presented today. Your acknowledgements fuel and determine to strive for even greater heights.
As our class celebrates this incredible moment for Mr. Fisher, let it be a shared triumph that inspires us to reach new horizons and a more unforgettable impact on our future chosen career paths, possibly in the clean and energy field. Mr. Fisher has been such a huge figure in our class, and we thank him for teaching us and allowing us to have the opportunity to see the makings of electrical vehicles and how clean energy will make an impact in this industry. Our class deeply thanks Mr. Fisher for his hard work and efforts. Thank you for allowing us to be part of the 2023 Energy Hall of Fame ceremony. And as we honor 6 awardees, including our amazing teacher, Mr. Fisher, be assured that we will continue this journey with a renewed sense of purpose and an unwavering commitment to excellence. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you.
Well, I can confidently say that we have some really exciting clean energy leaders right now. So really excited to see this future generation. And I have to give a shout out. I saw in the video, I think your mascot are the Bulldogs. So go Bulldogs. All right. I also want to, before the final award part of the presentation, I do want to recognize, I think we have some esteemed members from Calexo here to support Keith. So I'm going to call a couple of folks. So I want to acknowledge Principal Williams. District Superintendent Jimenez. The coordinator, Mr. Jaime. And City Manager Esperanza Colio. So with that, I want to just welcome Mr. Keith Fisher to the stage and for huge congratulations.
Well, from that video, did an excellent job wherever you are. That was an amazing piece you put together. The students, I don't really come to want to like cry ever, but that was good. Appreciate that. I want to get through my thank yous, but yeah, I'm not usually an emotional person. But for all those who are unfamiliar with Calexico, we're a very small city on the border. We just sit just north of Mexicali. The community is friendly. When I came here from Hawaii, I looked at jobs in San Diego, but then I went to the job in Calexico and I sat at the McDonald's and I was like, it felt like home in the sense everyone wasn't speaking Pidgin Hawaiian, but they were speaking Spanish, but it just felt natural. So I took that job and I'm glad I did. It's changed my life. But I do want to say thank you foremost to all my students the last 6 years. They're the reason, sorry. they're the reasons why I teach, and I keep going. I keep on trying to make every year better and better. I'm just gonna focus on my notes so I don't look up and get any emotional stuff. But there's so many people who've been involved in this progress, and they mentioned them, the Clexico Board of Trustees and Mr. Otoro Jimenez, our district superintendent, have done so much to help my program. Been so enthusiastic when I ask for things. They've been more than willing and to move that program forward. Ms. Williams, who offered me this position, which you saw in the video, and that transition has inspired me to grow as a professional. Mr. Jaime, which was introduced, I don't think I could get much of anything done if it wasn't for him dotting all the T's and, dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's for me. My family, but most of all, it's the students who keep me going. I could easily go into this industry and build cars and make really good money, but I love teaching, and the students and just that camaraderie that you have keeps me feeling young and focused, and I love that aspect. Next group I want to say thank you to is the California Energy Commission. Chair Hochschild, all the commissioners, and especially Commissioner Gallardo and Mr. Riera, Janet Maliggs at Cerritos College. They, all of them basically took a car restoration specialist and made him into an EV enthusiast. I'm actually trying to figure out how to, I'm building a 62 Chevy right now, and I've looked into so many sources of trying to figure out how to get that converted to EV. Hopefully one day I can, when I get the finances right. But I do love how much I've changed in my view of electric vehicles since you guys introducing it to me those years ago. I appreciate that. Yeah, I have a lot more to say, but I think the students in the video said it. I mean, I appreciate everything that you have done and included me into this award. And congratulations to all the other award winners. You guys are all doing awesome things. Thank you so much for this, and I'm honored. I appreciate it. Thank you.
That was phenomenal. Well, students, first of all, you guys are lucky to have a teacher like that. And thank you guys for all you do. You know what? In a few years, you're going to be here. I have a feeling you guys are going to do some amazing things because you have an amazing teacher. So we're actually going to take a little break for a special cultural presentation. As I mentioned, I just came back from the climate summit in Dubai, and the single biggest contingency there was from Brazil, which brought 2,000 people and the largest number of indigenous representatives ever at the climate summit. And so we have a little performance from Brazil. So let's invite them in. Samba de Terra.
Bom dia, bom dia, bom dia. Boa tarde, boa tarde, boa tarde. Well, these are birimbau. Want to play a little bit birimbau. Isso já vira costa, tá? Capoeira. These in Brazil called guitar with one string. Right? Everybody can say birimbau, birimbau, pau, pau, birimbau, birimbau. Que bom estar com você aqui nessa tarde com esse conjunto é o Baiaté, até Bahia, é o Baiaté. Everybody say, oh, oh, yo, yeah, yeah. Oh, yo, yeah, yeah, me. É mais é sensacional. You say, oh, yo, yeah, yeah. É mais é sensacional. You say, é mais é sensacional. O vento que bate tão lindo por cima do fogo, por cima do fogo, de terra. Ele passei. É, mas é sensacional. Birimbau. Vai recetar o tal. Ele vai ser birimbau. Pode ter mim? Birimbau. E recetar. Ok. Mas vamos aqui no samba. Vamos olhar samba. Vamos assim, live samba. De grupo. Samba da terra, eu se mata. Ok? Instrumento cal. Ripinique. Ele vai ser ripinique? Ripinica. la 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 la. La 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 la. Quero de novo sambar. La 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 la. La 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 la. Quero de novo sambar.
Let's give it up for Sama de Terra. All right. That was amazing. What a day. All right. We will now move to the Tribal Champion Award, which is a really special award where every year we honor an amazing Native American leader. And this year's awardee is incredible. You're going to hear about her in a moment, but I'll just say, we were talking about this at lunch. There's nothing we as a state can do to give back the loss of land and lives and language that happened to Native Americans in the state, but we can now finally heed the wisdom of Native American teachings. I think that's a lot of what we're endeavoring to do. And I'm very honored to introduce the woman who's going to present this award, who's the first Native American PUC commissioner. She's been a champion for clean energy, a champion for tribes, not just in California, but all over the country. An amazing leader. Please welcome PUC Commissioner Darcy Houck.
So thank you. I'd first like to thank the Energy Commission for hosting this amazing event. It is such a pleasure and a rare opportunity to come together to celebrate so many amazing people in the communities across California. So thank you to the Energy Commission. And I am just deeply honored and privileged to be able to introduce our next champion, somebody that I've gotten to know over the last 3 years who is just absolutely amazing and doing cutting edge work for her community. Climate change is a global issue. We all know that, and we're all going to rise or fall together. And we also know that clean energy, reliable energy, and affordable energy affect communities. Communities with clean, reliable energy are healthier communities. They have a better quality of life and more opportunities for the members in those communities. Historically, well, I guess since European contact, that hasn't been the case for many Native American communities. They've often been left at the end of the line for infrastructure, and they have less clean energy, less reliable energy, and less affordable energy. That is changing. The Hoopa Valley tribe is taking a leadership role in that under champions like Linnea Jackson to set the stage and create the roadmap for tribal energy sovereignty. And they are making healthier communities, creating better quality of life, and setting the stage for all of us here in California. So before I sing Linnea's praises even further, let's watch the video and learn a little bit more about her.
Many tribes were displaced from their actual origin point of or where they're from. The Hoopa Valley tribe was one tribe that was not fully displaced from where we were at. They've done carbon dating on fire pits and on sacred locations, and we've been here for, millennia.
We're a people who have survived despite efforts to move us from here. And they moved a part of us down there, and they just turned around, walked out, and came home. And they said, no, this is our home. The valley, Natinoi, is kind of the center of all the territory that Hoopa had.
But it's an important place that we protect. It's an important place that we make sure infrastructure is being built in a meaningful way that protects the environment, that protects cultural resources, and obviously helps with climate change. So we want to be building future-proof technology so that we are adapting to how the world is shaping out, and also tying that back to our roots and who we are as Hoopa people.
My name is Linnea Jackson. I am a member of the Hoopa Valley Tribe. Currently, I serve as the general manager for the Hoopa Valley Tribe's Public Utilities District. I was born here on the reservation, and when I was 6 years old, my mother got a nursing degree, and we ended up moving to Anchorage, Alaska. I had the opportunity to come back and spend my summers here with my grandparents and my cousins and my aunts and uncles. So I think those outside experiences allowed me to see a broader perspective, which has helped me in the skill set today to come back and work for my own tribe and people. The Hoopa Valley Public Utilities District operates and manages many of the foundational utilities on the reservation. We serve and provide domestic water, irrigation services, broadband services, energy-related projects. The energy projects will help sustain us because we deal with and struggle with energy resiliency here in the valley. And broadband and communications has become an everyday part of life. I'm building for generational impact, and I'm building for tribal resiliency.
Our Trinity River nourishes not only the valley and Hoopa territory and Hoopa people, it also nourishes the Klamath River tribes.
Not only is the Trinity River a part of who we are culturally, but it's obviously water is life, and it's a significant source and benefit to everything that we do. We have 2 water treatment facilities, 20 water storage tanks, 12 booster stations, and hundreds of miles of distribution and service lines. And so water is not only a part of who we are spiritually, but it's something that we also manage from a tribal government standpoint. Our water treatment facility is the highest energy demand location within the reservation. So energy is so critical for allowing that to function. California has the highest energy rates almost of any state. So without energy efficiency and resiliency, we struggle on the utility side, because every time the power goes out, these pumps are not able to facilitate and pump water to our community. Every time the power goes out, it affects our broadband. So we're looking into battery, we're looking into solar solutions, and obviously we're trying to get away from fossil fuel generators, but that's how we have to survive here in order to maintain communication. Who I am today as a core person stems from family. And what I've learned from both sides is to be resilient, hardworking,
and a provider and a survivor. I was raised by a single mother. She taught me strength and resiliency and how to be brave and step outside of yourself, not be afraid to experience other areas. And all of those things stick with me today because of those teachings from my grandparents and then to my mom, to myself.
She's able to go into all different cadences of life. And then what really amazes me is that she's able to work with people on the state level and the federal level. And she has a genuine personality that people like her and they trust her.
We're actually having the ability and the opportunity now to have a seat at the table and be actual partners who can apply for funding, who can complete the projects on their own, and not just rely on the investor-owned utilities that have not invested in our area. So we're coming together with resources and opportunity and actually coming as true partners, as we should be.
So again, I just want to recognize all of the amazing work that Linnea is doing, her dedication to bringing clean energy. And because I'm from the PUC, I also have to mention broadband. She works tirelessly in both areas, and the Hoopa tribe has been a leader across the country. I was at Akwesasne in New York this summer, and the Hoopa tribe was right there showing everybody what they're doing and how tribes across the nation can bring this kind of work to their communities. And they have been at the forefront of both clean energy, sovereignty for tribes, and broadband. So again, under Linnea's leadership, her work has had and continues to have an impact for improving the quality of life throughout the Hoopa Valley and throughout the Aboriginal lands of the Hoopa people. This work will be recognized and will continue to provide positive impacts for her community and California for generations to come. So please join me in congratulating Linnea, and please come up and get your reward.
So like the speakers before me, you don't get emotional until you're actually up here. And a story is told about the work that we're doing. I would be remiss if I didn't state that the Hoopa Valley tribe is one of the largest tribes in the state of California. Again, the state of California has more tribes than any other state. And I think that, you know, in the past, obviously we have things that we have to overcome. Tribes are no longer just a check the box tribal consultation. We are becoming true partners in infrastructure and facilitating projects. And it needs to follow with the policy. So there's a lot of people in here that have goals and have the opportunity to shape how those funding opportunities are set forth. And that really needs to include flexibility and guidelines that meet sovereign tribal governments as well, because we can become true partners in helping meet energy resiliency goals. Yes. So at the beginning of my journey, I didn't think working in infrastructure would then lend itself to climate change and climate adaptation. And it really makes me think holistically about the job that I'm doing and the responsibility that that takes. In the video, I told you that I was raised in Anchorage, Alaska, and that's giving me the opportunity to actually see how climate change has escalated for decades. So I went back this past year, and areas where there's large ice, you know, icebergs and glaciers have now receded, and then there's no icebergs in that said area. And that was a little shocking to me, you know, and when you think about the temperatures rising and you actually see it in a place where you were raised, it's really pressing. So how are we going to collectively kind of address those issues? issues. Because I live in an area where there's wildfires, there's droughts that we need to think about. So we need to be building infrastructure, building and shaping policies that help address those issues. With microgrids, we were looking to work with the California Energy Commission and Cal Poly Humboldt and Schatz Energy Research Center, because we need all of those collective brilliant minds. We need our electrical engineers, we need our people that are working in grassroots projects. Collectively, we're going to all make this possible and a success as best as we can with those partnerships in the room. So I think I've had an opportunity I would like to thank Braylon for coming, taking a piece of my family and who I am and putting that together in a video. I would like to thank my family for giving me work ethic and integrity and teaching me to do everything correct. Tribal leadership that allows me to have the opportunity to venture out and attend these meetings that are so critical. The California Energy Commission, CPUC, federal and state partners that are so critical to what we're doing. It's an absolute honor to be here, and I look forward to continuing the work that is we still have ahead of us. So it's an absolute pleasure, and I want to thank you for your time.
And I want to recognize both Linnea's mother and her grandmother are here. Can you raise your hands? So here to present our final award, which is the Lifetime Achievement Award, is a dear friend and colleague, Siva Gunda. He's vice chair at the Energy Commission, along with me and Commissioner Gallardo. And he's an immigrant from India. He came and started on staff here a few years ago. I was introduced to him and I was just amazed and dazzled by everything he said. And then he was appointed to be commissioner by the governor and then vice chair. And he's one of these people that everything he touches gets better. He's a problem solver. This work that we do is really, really intense. People work long hours, nights, weekends, a lot of travel. And Siva is just all in. And we would not be where we are, the state of California and clean energy, without him. So please welcome, to introduce the next award, Vice Chair Siva Gunda.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you, Chair. As we come to the conclusion of the event, I just wanted to just thank all the staff who made this wonderful event possible. I also want to just honor the vision from Commissioner Gallardo and Chair Hochschild, who dreamt this thing that we needed to have a venue to celebrate those amongst us who show the light for us to walk every day. And thank you to you, and thank you every awardee here. Thank you for all the wonderful work you all do. So I was not going to use my birthday as an excuse, but I was kind of woke up this morning and the first thing I wanted to do was think about, I need to fit having to go to a temple today somehow, get some blessings. And I haven't fit that in because we have been having a lot of meetings today. And what a wonderful way to start today with the prayer. And I felt like the universe came to us to bless. So I felt really grateful. And the worst thing I can do on my birthday is to praise Cliff. So I just am so truly honored, and what a pleasure to present the Lifetime Achievement Award to Cliff Refschaffen. This award recognizes an individual who has at least spent 20 years in clean energy, advancing clean energy, and is seen as a leader in their community, and who has had a significant positive impact on the state of California and frontline communities. I thought through what I want to say today. I want to keep it short, and I just want to elevate the importance of public service and what public servants really mean in making sure we move forward as a state. And when I think about an example of what a true public servant is, it's somebody who is selfless, who is brave, who is able to build consensus, and who can do the hard work as hard work with a smile. And all through the evening, I've been watching Cliff, from the sidelines of, what's his reaction? The single word that helps me describe Cliff is he's always in awe. He's always in awe of everybody else's light and everybody else's work. He does not see himself as the thing that needs to be in the middle. He always vanishes into the background and make big, big, big things happen. For those of you who might not know his work, we'll have a video here that will describe him. But as a personal note, I just want to say, what an amazing human being, Cliff, you are. What an amazing heart you have. And how many people in this room, how many people in this room you uplifted. And as Chair mentioned, I came here as an immigrant, and every time I struggle with an issue and I need help, I first go to Cliff. He has been a brother, he has been family, he has been somebody who truly, truly, truly supports every single person he knows and doesn't know and wants to find a way to help them. So Cliff, thank you. And I will now welcome the video. Thanks.
This is Jerry Brown's ranch, which has been in his family for 150 years. And when he left the governorship, he wanted to move back. I had the privilege of working for him for almost 10 years as a senior advisor, both when he was the California Attorney General and then when he was governor. I was very lucky to be able to work with him. My last name is Rechtschaffen, very hard to say unless you know how to say it. And it means do right or make right. Schaffen means make or do, Recht is right. It's a wonderful name. It's a window into my heritage. I grew up in New York. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. I was there till I was a young adult. I came to the West Coast after law school, and I've been living in Oakland since 1989. That's my home. I love the city of Oakland. Well, my dad grew up in Germany. He's a Holocaust survivor. He and his family were forced to flee the Nazis in 1937, and they walked across the border to Holland and were able to come to America. My mom was born in the US. Her parents left Russia to escape the pogroms, and then my parents spent the rest of their lives in New York City. There's a strong cultural tradition among Jews for working for the underdog, for working on social justice, and that certainly infused my parents and their work and the way they raised my sister and me. They also valued life and were very grateful for the privileges that they had, that they lived in a place where they were free from fear and want. And I think that helped me really understand how grateful I am and how lucky I am. Because their lives were precarious, they appreciated so much and had so much gratitude for life, and they wanted to make sure that others shared in those values and benefit. In 1994, I had the great privilege of going to South Africa as an international election observer for the first democratic elections in South Africa. And this is a picture of the ballot, the historic ballot. This is a sign from when I was sworn into the California Public Utilities Commission by Governor Brown. Oh, it was a wonderful moment because having gotten the nomination from Governor Brown and the vote of confidence from him that I could do this really challenging job was a wonderful experience, and to be there with my family was terrific. These are some of the books I've actually written. This is a environmental justice casebook, the first major environmental justice casebook written mostly for law students. It was used in undergraduate students in undergraduate courses as well. But there was nothing quite like this as a casebook to use in courses in law schools. In 1993, I started teaching environmental law at Golden Gate Law School. I also felt, having practiced before I became a law professor, that it was critically important to train students in actual practice before they graduated. And I co-founded in 1993 Golden Gate's Environmental Law and Justice Clinic. The focus of that clinic was representing underserved communities on environmental and public health matters. So it was a natural for me to work on that type of law to advance both social justice and environmental protection. It's also a great area to practice in California. California passed the law saying that 25% of revenues generated by our cap and trade program had to be spent in or benefit disadvantaged communities. That number's since gone to 35% or maybe even 40% under some definitions. Other states have followed, and it became an accepted best practice nationally for clean energy policies. It's very easy when you sit in public policy positions to feel like you have a sort of monopoly on expertise or wisdom. And I think in California, especially over the past couple of decades, we've made a really important and pronounced effort to do this, to solicit the views of people who are traditionally underrepresented, for whom the political and legal processes haven't worked. If we want to be successful, if we want to advance a just outcome, we have to be more conscious and explicit about designing programs to benefit underrepresented communities.
What stood out? What do you remember about him?
Well, I remember that Ken Alex said he needed Cliff to do whatever he was going to do. And I said, why can't you do it yourself? He said, well, I need Cliff. He knows how to do things that I can't do. So that's where Cliff showed up. He's a quiet, effective environmental lawyer who's a good guy and doesn't get carried away with some of the enthusiasms that you find in politics. He was suited because he worked with me. He knows about the environment. The PUC is a legal institution promulgating regulations, and so he had that experience, and that was very important because the PUC is this bureaucratic machine that deals with incredible complexity and detail, but also has decisions that have big political ramifications. Cliff is intelligent, well-educated, gets along with people, gets to the nub of the problem, and all those qualities are not that common. I guess I would have to say uniquely equipped for the role.
Now that the station's everywhere, I wanted the battery prices.
Climate, to most minds, is abstract, and Cliff, I think, closes that gap between the generality of the climate problem and the specific steps that have to be taken to get at it.
To the next generation, I would say, be bold. Our window is short. You need to act with urgency and imagination, and use whatever authorities you have, whatever platforms you have, use to the maximum extent possible. And don't underestimate the impact of everything you do, of smaller seeming victories. They all matter a great deal.
So before I invite Cliff to come onto the stage, a word I learned from him in Yiddish, mensch, and the word means a good person, particularly a person of honor and integrity. To the climate mensch, please come on.
top introduction. And as Chair Hochschild said, Commissioner Goon is a treasure for the state of California. It's a pleasure to have worked with him. I actually have a lot of thanks. I'm a lifetime achiever, so I can say a lot of thanks. I want to echo what Siva just said. I want to thank Chair Hochschild and Commissioner Gallardo for establishing this Clean Energy Award and for your leadership and support about it. I want to thank Chair Hochschild for having a last name almost as hard to pronounce as mine. I want to thank Valeria Bernal of the CEC for her administrative support in this. I want to thank Braylon Murray, our videographer, for great, beautiful videos. Although I noticed you didn't Photoshop in the extra hair for me that you said you would, so. I have a great family. I want to thank my wife, Karen Kramer, who's been my emotional bedrock. My two kids, Julian and Katerina, who are great kids listening online. My big sister, Joyce, who danced. She's here from DC. She's been one of my biggest fans for many years. I want to thank my in-laws, the Allens and the Kramers, my brother-in-law, Doug Black, who's here, also all my friends and colleagues. Also, I want to thank my PUC advisors, many of whom are here. Sean, I did not get your remarks for me. You did not prepare your remarks on time for this, so I had to do it on my own today. So, and it's wonderful to share the stage with David and Keith and Ava and Lene and Reverend Jackson. It's so inspirational to see the work that you're doing, and what imagination and what commitment to improving the lives of people. California is so lucky to have you as leaders. You never know what direction life will take you in or what will spark your imagination or passion. And for me, one of my formative experiences was when I was in college back in 1977, and I heard a lecture from Ralph Nader, who was then a venerated consumer rights advocate. And he challenged us, he said, what are you going to do with your privileged education? How are you going to help improve the lives of others? And that helped me decide to go into the public interest. And I spent my entire 45-year career working in the public or nonprofit sector. I want to thank Jerry Brown for the opportunity to work for him. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's a great honor. He's been a visionary leader on climate change for decades, long urging us to be on a World War III footing. I've also had the privilege of serving in the administration of Governor Newsom. Governor Newsom's picked up the mantle. He's been equally fearless on climate. And on climate, the greatest danger is that we move too slowly. As Linnea pointed out and others, we're seeing the ravages of climate change already. We are on pace in this year to be the hottest year by far. And as Chair Hochschild said earlier on, many of the solutions to deal with climate are in hand. We know them. The challenge now is to deploy them as fast and as far and as wide as possible, and to do so equitably so that disadvantaged communities are not left behind, especially since they will suffer the most from climate change. And you've heard, we are leading the country in California. This is the proving ground for so many climate policies, which makes working in this area so challenging, but so rewarding. And it's why getting an honor from this group is so meaningful. And I just want to thank everybody and say how grateful I am to my colleagues, to staff, legislators, advocacy groups for being partners in this effort. Okay, I was told I could say some things as a wise veteran, not an old man, but I have a few observations to share with others. So what have I learned? I've learned to be more flexible over the years, to listen to inconvenient facts, that it's okay to change your mind and to grow, and that asking a lot of questions is a sign of strength, not a sign of weakness. To be joyful amidst the challenges. Take time to celebrate successes. This is a long and difficult fight. That's why events like this and celebrations like this are so important. I've learned to practice self-care. I've worked out every day for years. And sometimes when I think, well, maybe I don't have enough time to do this, I'm reminded of one of my heroes, Nelson Mandela. He would box 2 hours a night, many days of the week, while fighting apartheid and practicing law. To have humility and grace and to treat others well, I think that's probably the trait that I'm most proud of. And finally, to be hopeful and stay the course. As Mandela said, it always seems impossible until it's done. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Cliff, for your leadership with great grace and humility. Although I'm a little bit, surprised the crowd is still here, because when I saw you dancing, I thought people might run for the exits. So what an inspiring day. Thank you all for being here. If we could just have all the winners stand one more time to give a round of applause. Congratulations. Thank you so much. So in Chinese, my wife is Chinese, my kids went to Chinese school. The Chinese word for crisis is wei ji. It's just two other words put together. It's danger and opportunity. And there's always opportunity inside the crisis. And that's true with the climate crisis as well. We have the opportunity to create a beautiful new future, healthy, clean energy industries, job opportunities you can get excited about. And that's our task, to go out and build this future together. We're going to take we're going to wrap here and go. We have a reception outside. I want to just encourage everybody in the audience to come and personally thank each winner before you go. Make that your little commitment for the day. You can give them a hug, you can shake their hand. They're here. It's especially important that we connect. I wanted to recognize as well the amazing vendors who've been supporting that. Includes Collaborative for the video, the California Climate Chronicles for the immersive exhibition outside, Jesse's Gateway Cafe for the food in the lobby, the Sacramento Tree Foundation, the Sacramento Youth Group Miwok Style Dancing California, Samba de Terra, and the original selfie booth for the mirror booth there. And then I also wanted to lift up the amazing staff at the Energy Commission and Department of General Services. Let's give it up for them. Thank you, Valeria. Once again, the architect of this whole thing, Naomi Gallardo. There she is. Thank you. So with that, that's a wrap, and let's go to the reception outside. Thanks, everybody.